Hey everyone, Jennifer Blevins-Smith with Integral Clinic Solutions, and you're watching my YouTube channel, Navigating the Business of Medicine. Today, I want to talk about training your front office staff. In your practice, it might be front office staff, it might be your patient registration staff, but this is about training the front lines, training the people who have the first interaction with patients and usually the last as well. The front office is a cornerstone in your practice. And in my experience, having worked the front office for a while and moving my way to different departments within the clinic, I can tell you that it's probably the least respected position of any practice. And it is probably the hardest because there's so many moving parts and you have to anticipate how to answer things and be able to critically think on a dime. And you have to give good customer service, even when the patients are not being nice to you. You just have to keep in mind that they don't feel well, that they're having a bad day, they're scared, they're in pain, whatever it might be, so that you don't get mean back. And trust me, it's hard sometimes. I'm seeing this as a trend in healthcare right now, that it's very difficult to find experienced staff to work front offices. And that's adding even more challenges and affecting revenue in practices as well. And I'm going to explain that in this video. Training your front office should be the forefront of your priorities when it comes to staff training. It is because even though people can go to school for this, it still needs your personal touch to explain your specific situation, circumstance in your practice, your specialty, your operating hours, your patient demographics. All of that plays a huge role. So hopefully if you can hire somebody with front office medical experience, you're going to be ahead of the game. But again, I am seeing trends where it's really difficult to find people who have experience working a front desk. So you're starting from scratch. With that being said, I am actually working on a course as we speak to release to practices like you who might need your front office staff who are very green to have that foundational training before they jump into working at your practice or early on of working in your practice. I am setting up a course. There will be a fee, but a course that you could pay for your new staff to take, where I will teach them virtually about insurances, how to register patients, customer service, answering phones, and it's going to be very generic. Obviously, I'm not going to know how you personally operate. I'm not going to know how another person operates their practice, and I couldn't train people to do it that way. But I can give them the foundation to know about Medicare Advantage plans, and you don't register patients under Medicare as well. I see that all the time. Understanding what Medicaid means, the MCO plans, making sure that they're gathering the right information when they're putting in the insurance information. Who's the guarantor on the insurance? Because it's not always the patient, right? And making sure they're capturing that information, making sure that they're validating addresses and phone numbers, making sure they're scanning in photo IDs and address cards, making sure. There's all these things that lay the foundation that you then can take and build from and teach them the specifics in your practice and how you want things to be done. And then it will be familiar. So I am working on a course right now. I will announce when it will be released, but it will probably be hosted at least through the Thinkific platform where I host my credentialing and contracting course. And it will be for employers and anybody who wants to learn the front desk that's applying for front desk positions, I guess, as well, to be proactive. But it's mainly going to be geared towards employers and people hiring front office staff that they can use my training to jumpstart green, brand new newbies at the front desk. But anyway, as I was going to say, those foundations that I talked about and will be doing in my training are things that are pivotal in success and downstream lack of errors, if you will, if they know what they're doing. The revenue cycle starts at the front desk. So if the revenue cycle starts at the front desk and your front office staff doesn't know how to accurately register insurances, they don't understand insurances, the definitions of insurances, they're not comfortable collecting money, so on and so on and so on, you can see how this would snowball downstream. And by the time you're submitting claims, you're getting them rejected or denied because things aren't accurate. Or your back office staff is getting frustrated with the front office because they're not doing things they need to do to successfully set up your mid office and back office staff to do their job. It's all interconnected. And that's why making sure that your staff across the board are set up for success with correct resources, trainings, operation manuals, things like that is so important. But your front office staff is number one. They're the ones that are going to be taking the hit from patients and explaining to them how you expect them to handle things, or when it is appropriate for them to give it to you as a manager or an owner to handle because it's gotten to the point where they shouldn't have to. It's giving them confidence. It's being a good sounding board. It's being empathetic with them, with what they experience, checking in on them to make sure that they're being successful. But they can't have all of that without the proper training. The training is what is important. And that means taking the time to sit down with them, work side by side with them, see how they do, giving them constructive criticism, giving them guides and resources, like I said, so that you can set them up for success. They are the face, the voice of your business. So they need to be on it all the time. They need to like their jobs. They need to be happy. They need to be efficient. And they can't be any of those things without the support from you, with training, with support and confidence and good, strong communication. You have to train your front office staff what you want them to do for your patients, but they have to know the basics as well. And when you hire people and they say they learn quickly, or they've worked as a receptionist in a different kind of business, that's fantastic. They have those customer service skills, which are transferable. But working a front desk in a healthcare office is very, very specific skills that people need and a knowledge base that needs to be taught. It's not something that works really well to learn as you go. Some things, yes, but they have to, again, have that foundation to understand what they're building off of. They can't just have anything because it's unstable. And like I said, it affects downstream. Making sure that you've thought about this. And I know we get desperate when it's hard to find people to staff a practice, our business, any business, but quality really does make a difference. And what you invest in them makes a difference so that they feel good about what they're doing. You feel good about what they're doing, and you know they're doing it correctly. If you have any questions or comments about hiring and training your front office staff, I am very well versed in that. So I would love to answer any questions you have. So leave that in the comments below. Again, when I release this course, I will do a short and I will announce it to everybody because I'm very excited. I think this will be very useful for a lot of practices, especially ones starting up or that are having to hire in their front office registration areas. Smash the thumbs up button if today's video was helpful. Subscribe to my channel if you haven't already, and please share this with anybody whom you feel would benefit. Take care of yourself, and we'll see you next time. Bye-bye.